Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
A Place in the Sun host Lee Juggernauth has shared a defiant message after being targeted by vile abuse from racist trolls. The presenter, who joined the Channel 4 favorite in 2021, called for an end to the far-right riots that have taken over the UK in recent days, and said he'd received messages from trolls calling for him to go back to his country. In a lengthy post on Tuesday, Lee said he is proud to be the child of parents who migrated to the UK, and dedicated their lives to working for the NHS. Lee said, "After receiving several comments and messages telling me to pipe down and go back to where I came from, I feel I have a responsibility to speak up. If it means using the small platform that I have to raise awareness, then that's what I'm going to do." Believe it or not, racism isn't a new construct for people of color in the UK. It is something most of us endure on a regular basis, and the sad reality is that it has become part of our daily lives, making some of us desensitized. Describing the riots that have dominated the UK as inexcusable, Lee added, "Now more than ever, we need to unite and to show support to all humans, as that's what we are. Race, religion, and immigration status should not matter. Whether or not this affects you directly, educating yourselves on the positive impact of immigration in the UK is a small step in the right direction. I'm extremely proud to be the child of two immigrant parents who have dedicated their lives to serving the NHS. I understand the impact on those who continue to be affected by waves of racism. Everyone deserves the right to live in a world free of racism and violence, and it is crucial that we all unite in solidarity to put an end to this." On Thursday, police have launched dawn raids targeting seriously violent thugs who took part in riots as the crackdown on the far right begins after many planned riots on the previous evening were foiled. Sir Mark Rowley, the chief of the Metropolitan Police, said his force had smashed its way into the homes of the most violent members of last week's protests in Whitehall and branded them criminal thugs. The head of Britain's largest police force said it was nonsense, these people are patriots, and hailed a show of unity from communities which saw thousands of anti-racism demonstrators flood streets around the country to stop planned gatherings of the far right. It was reported around 100 hate-filled protests had been planned across England outside immigration centres, organised on secretive far-right channels on social media app Telegram. However, come 8 p.m. many of those did not even turn up, and those that did were dwarfed in size by counter-demonstrations, with up to 25,000 anti-racist activists turning out in force in cities across the UK. The following morning, police went on the front foot, launching dawn raids to take those who were involved in the riots of the last week into custody, but there are warnings that the unrest might not be over, with one minister suggesting more far-right protests could be planned for the coming days. The Met chief said the potential riots had abated after a show of force from police across the country and praised communities for rallying together. Lee previously opened about landing his gig as a host of A Place in the Sun 3 years ago, after spending several years working as a runner in the music industry. In an interview on the 3 podcast with Azalea Reason, Lee shared that he worked on becoming a completely different person before reaching the milestone age of 30, by hiring a life coach. He said, "Everything that could have been thrown at me was thrown at me. I think as a man, as a woman, when you are reaching a certain age, and it was about 29, going through a few things in life, I wasn't comfortable with who I was and what was going on. It was a rough year. I was a completely different person. He was someone I could rely on, I could express myself to, without being judged by friends, family, whatever. He was someone on a completely even playing field, who helped me get my life into perspective."